Hello everyone, welcome back. This episode here I'm going to do another chart analysis and I'm going to continue on from some of the other things I've said from the previous episode. So uh, stay with me on this, okay? So let me start off with Bitstamp, and there's the price, and it's moving up and down. Well, it's moving up again. So anyway, I redrew the lines, restarted my computer, so that's the lines I have. Now this is bit C here, and almost doing the same thing, except this line here is the resistance line on the top side. Let me see if I can back out. There you go. This thing's almost disappearing, so that's it right there, and I guess it's getting closer. Let's see, 12 hour. There you go. So who knows? It's teetering back down. So let's see what the price is going to be. And then Bitfin, right there. There's Bitfin, and it's doing the same thing. But you know, with Bitfin, it's kind of really different because this is the line right here, from the top to this, going down. So it's already breaking through. So it's already showing it's breaking through. And as long as it doesn't go below this mark, it'll either stay above this around this area, or maybe even go up. Maybe even slowly go up, or between these two lines, as far as ranging. Looks like it. Alright, and then last but not least, Coinbase. Now Coinbase that's all I can do. Let me back up, but it's doing the same thing. So it's back in, but recently it looks like it's pretty good. And if you want to know what I did, averaging my price as it was going down, and I think I did have some orders at 420 again, but this time I did it in $10 increments. So so it did hit. It wasn't on this one, it was on a different exchange, but that's kind of what happened. And then I employed two strategies, basically average buys, my limit orders going down, and I put another order in to buy when it kind of breaks out. So I just followed it, and then followed it, and then it just hit up, and I was able to make a gain on this slight rise here. So so that's what I did. I employed two strategies at the same time, so I don't miss out on the buying opportunities going down, and I could take advantage of anything that might break out. Because at this point, you know, if you just get a little bit, or risk that little chance that it could break out at any moment, as the price goes up, I mean, ideally the value of this, what you can get a gain out of it, would go up based on that little part that you bought, or a big part, however you want to do it. So that's how I kind of mitigate my risk. Um, Probably a lot of professional traders already do this, but maybe some don't know. And and I know it's been a wild, very crazy ride, and it's just gonna get. I think it's just gonna get crazier and crazier. So I would say hold on to your seats if you have it, if you still have a seat. But I know most of you probably like me, we're standing up all the time, kind of pacing back and forth. But so I want to go to another portion of this episode here. So this is my chart analysis, and I gave away some of my strategies, but I've already told you about that, and I'm hoping some of you have made some good trades lately. So I'm gonna go on to this portion of the episode here to back to the invisible hand. Okay, so are you all ready for this? All right, and a little bit of experience that happened recently as well. So as you know, what was it? PJ Dorkin J's ended my relationship, our banking relationship. So I had another bank in my relationship. This has been going on for a while. You know, it's one of those. I guess if anybody's been married and had a okay marriage or a good marriage, you know, just eventually die. That's the kind of marriage it was. That's the kind of relationship I was with this bank. It just kind of, you know, tried it again, gave it a try, and just finally, you know, she didn't want to be with me no more. You know, it's like kind of that. So I guess I can compare it as a marriage because they say we're ending our relationship, like we had a relationship. And sometimes when you hear that, you feel like you're getting divorced. You know, you really do. So I had another bank, and their pseudonym will be H.G. Wells. Okay, H.G. Wells. So H.G. Wells ended my relationship. So that's fine. I think it's better that way because I was really stretching myself out. And now this gives me a chance to consolidate to, how can I say, I guess I'm finding out there's two different types of banks in general, maybe three, but in general, like if you want to compare, you know, what's out there, there's banks that I would call overlords, and then there's other banks that I would call freedom fighters. I'm just kind of using an analogy. I'm trying to make a point. So there's two different types of banks. So the one that are going to become wealthy, and the others that are going to make you wealthy. So that's the only way I can put it. And so I find two banks. I would call them the overlords. But I found two other banks, and I'll give pseudonyms to them too. So I don't want to get an institution in trouble or anything. But one particular bank is America's Bank. That's going to be their pseudonym, America's Bank. And the other one I'm going to call, the pseudonym will be the Red Umbrella. So those are the two banks that have welcomed me. And you know, I read an article on the CoinDesk about Australia and how the different banks are hostile or friendly with the use of Bitcoins. Well, I can tell you from bearing witness, I do bear witness to this, and this is my testimony, that there are two different type of banks here. And I guess if you're going to try this out, go ahead and try the different banks and see how your relationship goes with them. And there's nothing wrong with ending a relationship. They're not saying you did anything wrong. They're not accusing you of anything. It's just that, you know, they can. You know, and they have the right. Just as, you know, any person has a right to say, hey, I don't want to go to that store anymore and buy stuff. It's just that simple. But what it does do is now I think I can consolidate funds to really start having my ideas about investing into a physical asset. So, and tying that to a Bitcoin. So that's going to be a different episode, but this episode here is going to go a little bit more beyond that. So going back to the invisible hand, sorry, I get sidetracked a lot. So I'm in Texas. I'm in Houston. And Houston is going to be the first spot, of course, because I'm here. And my next area of interest for my investing, and you know, Texas, if you ever in Houston, you see a lot of symbols around here, and one of the things you see is a symbol of a star. I see it all over the place, especially in Houston. So I think that means something. That's very relevant. So I said, wow. Okay, so I know Texas has this big thing about a star. So I said, well, I wonder if Washington has a star. And I'm talking specifically about Washington, D.C. So I said, well, does it have a star? Is there something that points to a star? Because whatever I do next is going to be involved with wherever that star is. So I just Googled it, and this is the map, and there's the there is the map. I says Washington D.C. and it just points right there. And can anybody see that star? Anybody see that star? I'm going to try to point it out to you a little bit. This is a great non-technology invention, the pin. Non-electrical anyway. So here's the star. So anybody see that star? Can I not make it more obvious? Well, there's a star. I don't know what to say. Invisible hand? Is there invisible hand working here? I don't know. But I've got to now go to Washington. That's where the you know, there you go. Is that freaky? Is that scary? Now I know people already know, already, you know, talk about it. It's like the star. Probably seen a lot of YouTube, maybe, but if you've seen my episodes, if you follow me from then to now, literally, I am bearing witness. I don't know what to say. This is really strange. So I'll end it because my battery's dying here. Feel free to comment, like, dislike, even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Bye.